Schadenfreude. We all know what that means. First article comes from Vanity Fair. Basically, it chronicles the downfall of Michael Avenatti. So, he tried to punk Nike by saying he offered them some options. Like, if the company agreed to pay his client $1.5 million and hire him to conduct an internal investigation, he would keep the whole thing quiet. Or for $22.5 million, full confidentiality, we write off the sunset he offered. And by the way, this was all picked up on audio. So yeah, they were coming down the pipe for him. So the bad part started to happen when 4 FBI agents surrounded him. Michael Avenatti, one asked. Yes, he responded. FBI, they told him, you're under arrest. The agents pulled him aside to the entrance of a store. They took his briefcase and his cell phone before pulling a large trench coat around his shoulders so they could handcuff him discreetly. Quote, I told him I appreciated the fact that I wasn't being treated like Roger Stone, Avenatti told me. And that CNN was not outside waiting for me. One of the officers laughed. Quote, I said, of course that's because hopefully I've shown your office and law enforcement a lot of respect over the last 14 months. Oh my God. Lame. The agents managed to hustle him out of the mall without being noticed. A remarkable feat in a smartphone area of the year of Avenatti would let him wait in a hidden alcove while the car would take him to be pulled around. Booked at the police station across the courthouse on Pearl Street, Avenatti was allowed one phone call, which he used to call his mother. She knew what happened to her son before he called, because Jeffrey Berman, U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, held a press conference detailing what he called an old-fashioned shakedown of Nike, Avenatti told me in May. Once Nike and the boys Schiller realized that they could not control me, that they came up with this stunt of going SDNY, U.S. District Court for Southern District of New York, and telling prosecutors and the FBI 10% of the story. He said, almost simultaneously, federal prosecutors in Los Angeles filed a 197-page complaint accusing him of wire and bank fraud, in which the office detailed allegations of Avenatti misappropriating client settlement money for personal use. The receipts were gaudy: $216,720 at Neiman Marcus, 6 figures to a Porsche dealership, and $68,000 at a luxury watch store. What a piece of garbage. The complaint also claimed that Avenatti defrauded a bank by submitting false tax returns in order to obtain millions of dollars in loans. A few weeks later, on April 11th, federal officials in California handed down a 36-count indictment including 19 tax-related charges, 10 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bankruptcy fraud, and 2 bank fraud charges. Avenatti, quote, taking money from one scheme and used it to lull clients who stringed them along to prevent them from going to authorities, and took money from different pots as needed. One such client was a paraplegic man who had reached a $4 million agreement to settle a case related to his injuries, but had not received the money. Avenatti allegedly deposited some of the settlement to his personal account associated with his car racing team. Avenatti pleaded not guilty. He would not get into specifics about the case, but he told me, I look forward to all the documents and all the facts coming out to light when it comes to the allegations set forth. The facts in reality are not as clear-cut as the government has made them out to. Right. If you think that was bad, it's going to get a lot worse. This is just from today. Feds bring new charges against lawyer Michael Avenatti for misappropriating nearly $300,000 from former client Stormy Daniels. Dare I say again, Schadenfreude. But anyways, I digress. Federal prosecutors in New York charged Michael Avenatti with additional financial crimes Wednesday, including allegedly forging the signature for his former client, Stormy Daniels, and diverting nearly $300,000 owed to her for a book advance into his own account, according to court records filed on Wednesday. Yikes. Prosecutors said that he then used the money he took from Daniels to make monthly payments on his Ferrari, as well as to cover airfare, dry cleaning, hotels, and restaurant bills, as well as payroll and insurance costs for his law firm's employees. The new charges accuse Avenatti of misappropriating money that was supposed to be paid to Daniels when Avenatti was representing the adult film actress in her public battle against President Trump and his former attorney, Michael Cohen. Quote, Avenatti used misrepresentations and fraudulent document purporting to bear his client's name and signature to convince his client, literary agent, to divert money owed to Avenatti's client to an account controlled by Avenatti. Avenatti then spent the money principally for his own personal and business purposes. Well, like I said, if you thought it wasn't going to get worse for this guy, it just got worse for him. And if we think back, it's not that long ago, he was the media darling with such hits like
President Obama also had a lot of TV star power, and that helped him pre-Trump. But Trump is more evidence of this. And looking ahead to 2020, one reason why I'm taking you seriously as a contender is because of your presence on cable news.
Presence on cable news? Huh? I wonder why. Let me think. Basically, the news media backed the Avenatti horse, and it failed miserably right after he was first charged with wrongdoing, financial wrongdoing, if you will. And then the Trump narrative, Russia collusion thing fell through. And then it even got worse with this Stormy Daniels fraudulent activities. So I guess not only did Michael Avenatti play himself, the news media played themselves as well. And they couldn't. And Brian Stelter from CNN could not help themselves to say, yeah, I could see voting for this guy. And they put him, Michael Avenatti, on CNN, MSNBC, and a couple other cable networks consistently over 100 times in the 10-week period. And what happened? Who was the crook? Or allegedly the crook? Who still has to meet his day in court, by the way. That would be yours truly, Michael Avenatti. I guess the moral of the story is watch who you back for president, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see in the coming days.